Howdy, folks. I hope you're well. Sorry for the delay. So tonight is just talking about the European Eagle Owl project. Some of you may or may not know about it. I'm going to give you an overview quickly for those of you that don't know about it. And then I'm going to tell you what we need and why we need your help. So, the European Eagle Owl project is a project that was thought up of and designed by Johnny McWhirter, who I know is on the live. And Johnny has been talking now for a good few months about how he was telling me about how he sees the project as a way of, over a long period of time, as I will say, it's a long period of time plan, trying to redress the balance and help our sport, which is being decimated by birds of prey. Now, as I've said before, and I will say again, I am a lover of all animals. I found a wood pigeon on the side of the road yesterday, brought it in, tried to feed it, tried to save it, and what have you. I love all animals. I won't even kill a fly. And I have nothing wrong against birds of prey, specifically sparrowhawks and the peregrine falcon. I have nothing against them. Personally, I'm speaking for me. Personally, nothing to do with anybody else or even the PSF Foundation. I have a problem with the artificial breeding sites that are being put up for peregrine falcons. And as a result of those artificial breeding sites, we have major issues, as many of you will know. So much so it's stopping people from keeping birds anymore. As I said, I have absolutely no problem with peregrine falcons in their own natural habitat being there, because they were there. But along the last few years, the artificial breeding of peregrine falcons is a major issue to us. So, welcome to the European Eagle Owl project. Now, the European Eagle Owl project is ran by, or will be run by, the Pigeon Sport Future Foundation, What is the Pigeon Sport Future Foundation? It's a foundation I've set up along with the input from Johnny McWhirter with the European Eagle Owl Project. Doing the European Eagle Owl Project as a standalone thing, long term, will not give enough backing and credibility to get it where it needs to be. Setting up a non-profit foundation, a non-profit organization was the thing to do, not just for the European Eagle Owl Project. The European Eagle Owl Project will be one of the things the PSFF does. Since coming back into this sport, there's a lot that needs to be done to put back into the sport. This sport generates a lot of money for charities, and that's a great thing. That's a really great thing. But the sport also needs to look after itself. And what I want to do is, I said, I've been thinking of a way of setting up a non-profit to be able to do so that runs various projects. And I will talk at another time about the other projects that the PSFF is going to do. Tonight, the European Eagle Owl Project I'm telling you about is the primary largest project that the PSFF is going to do. For those of you who want to know, the PSFF is a limited by guarantee company, which means it doesn't have any shareholders. It just has members. There's no profits that can be taken out of the company. It is officially a limited company, but it's limited by guarantee. So without getting too technical, it cannot earn profits. New members of the PSFF will be being brought in over time, and Johnny will be part of that to help run the European Eagle Owl Project. And for each of the projects, just so people know, because this is relevant, each of the projects will have its own separate bank account, and all of those bank accounts will be ran by an accountant and an auditor, and all of the books will be available to everybody to see. I'm not into accounting, not my bag, but every quarter, every year, all of that stuff will be made available so people can see exactly to the penny what's going on. And a quick last thing about the PSFF, there will be no one taking any wages or any expenses out of the PSFF at all. When the PSFF gets to where I want it to be long term, there may be one or two admin people that are employed to help run and develop the PSFF, but that is it. There will be no members charging expenses. There'll be no salaries for people or any of that stuff. At most, there'll be a couple of admin people long term to help get it the momentum and get where we want this to be. So I hope I've made myself clear about that. And like I said, it's important because I'll tell you later that each of the projects that the PSFF will be running have its own separate bank account for funds that are being directly donated to each of the projects to come into. Now, before I say, like somebody's just said, lots of people should be watching this. This is a one-off broadcast. It's not part of my TV show. Please, if I could, ask you, before I get into what it's actually all about and the nuts and bolts of it, if I could please ask you to share it on your timeline, share it to friends that may be interested. As somebody's just said, where is everybody? Everybody should be watching this. And I completely agree with David Penrose. Thank you very much for saying that. So I would ask, please share it into groups, share it on pages, share it on your timeline, share it to friends, and get as many people watching this. Not necessarily live now, although that would be great, but we want as many people knowing about this as possible. One last thing to say is this: the PSFF is not associated with any existing organizations in the pigeon sport at all. It's an independent organization that will long-term be working with other organizations, specifically about other projects that we'll be running, including the schools project and what have you, but it is not affiliated or associated. It's a standalone non-profit foundation that's been set up. And that is for a good reason, because working with or being associated with other such organizations creates a lot of red tape. And I'm not into red tape, and we're not into red tape. We want to just take action and get this stuff done. So please share it. Like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell people about it, tell you what we need, and then any questions and comments coming in, I'll go through them twice during this. So let me tell you what it's what it is about. So the European Eagle Owl Project is a project specifically designed to do a 3-phase plan. It is a project to enhance the ability for pigeon flyers to be able to, one, protect their own racing pigeon stocks. And it's not just racing pigeons. The roller, tumbler, and tippler guys are affected by the birds of prey as much as racing guys. That's what it is. It's a project to, which I will go through the phases in a minute. Let me tell you what it's not. It is not a project to breed a load of European eagle owls and release them into the wild. Once again, it is not a project to breed a load of European eagle owls and release UK and Ireland. One, that is not a sustainable thing to do without proper structure and planning. And two, the most important part is that is in the UK and Ireland at the moment completely illegal to knowingly release a European eagle owl into the wild. So it is not that. There are 3 phases to this project. Phase 1, which is the phase we want to get up and running this year. This is something that we've been working on. We want to get it up and running this year. The first phase is to get a group of volunteers and people keeping European eagle owls to be able to fly them out and or keep them in aviaries. I've been speaking to lots of experts over the last few months. Some of the experts say the sheer presence, visual presence and audible presence of one of these in an open top aviary is enough to keep away birds of prey over a period of a few months once birds of prey get to know that owl is there. I was only speaking to somebody last week who is in the falconry business, and he said he does not get birds of prey coming around his place because of his eagle owls. And as long as it's an open top aviary, there is a chance that birds of prey that matter to us will, over a period of time, not come round because it will be a deterrent enough. The visual side of it, obviously, birds of prey have a great visual ability, but also the audible side. These birds make a very specific noise, and the audible side of things will also put them off. Part of phase 1 then, which is what I'm going to be also doing, is to actually fly one of these birds out. Not let it out, but fly it out. The idea being is one of these birds flying out will help to protect your flocks. Obviously, you're not going to be flying these birds out when you've got your racing pigeons or your rollers, tipplers and tumblers out. You're not going to be doing it when it's that. But I will be getting a bird that is trained, and I will be flying this bird out. When I start keeping pigeons myself, as soon as I've moved house, I will be getting one of these birds that I can fly out myself. So that's part of the phase 1. That's what we're looking to do. Now, the housing of these birds, the recommended housing of these birds is a minimum of a 9-foot aviary. And we haven't got the final details out yet, but if the aviary is open topped, that's going to help the deterrent issue a lot more. And as long as the bird has got a shelter and potentially a nest box, if you get into breeding, that is what needed. And as I said, we have got experts in birds of prey, and specifically the European eagle owl, to help us. We are working with experts. The next phase is to set up a breeding program to spread across the UK and Ireland to do exactly what phase 1 is doing. So we're going to start with about a dozen eagle owls to start. We're going to get some breeding pairs together, and we're going to start breeding, obviously, in season. Now, these eagle owls can potentially lay two sets of eggs, and eggs, I've been told, can be between 4 and 8 chicks at a time. So we can get numbers fast. So phase 2 is to create a breeding program to be allowed to then enable other pigeon flyers of any kind to be able to start keeping these birds. So phase 2 is the breeding program that will allow more people to be able to keep these birds. Phase 3, and this is the big one, and this is where it's important that the PSFF Foundation comes in. Via the PSF Foundation, over a long period of time, and it is a long period of time, this is not going to happen quickly, we will petition and campaign that the European eagle owl has been native. It's categorically true that the European eagle owl was native to the UK 400 years ago, as long way back as 400 years ago. It's also documented that I've just put up by some comments. It's also documented and known that there are breeding pairs of these birds in the Cumbria area as we speak. Don't know if you saw, but a couple of weeks ago, the sea eagle was reintroduced back into the Isle of Wight area, which is a big thing for the long-term potential of this project. So the long-term plan via the PSF Foundation is that the European Eagle Owl Project will legally petition that the European eagle owl should be allowed to be reintroduced back into the UK and Ireland. Now, that is not going to be easy, and we will get resistance. But the peregrine falcon is protected. And there is no real logical reason, and obviously logic in this gets thrown out a lot, but there's no real logical reason why the European eagle owl should not be. Now, practically, we know why certain elements don't want this owl back, and that's because it's the only predator of the peregrine falcon. But the long-term plan is to legally petition to start getting this bird recognized that it was and is native to the UK and should therefore be protected and actively encouraged to breed. And we already have help from a couple of legal people to help us do that properly. So that's the third long-term big phase that we want to do. We have help, like I said, from legal people to be able to help do that. And we also have help, like I said earlier, from experts in their fields to be able to get us, me, Johnny, and others that already have expressed an interest in keeping these birds. We do have experts that can help us, and we will make it as simple as possible. We will have videos. We will do videos, care videos. We will do information sheets. Out of all of the birds of prey out there, this owl, although it's a magnificent animal and it's got up to a 6-foot wingspan, this owl is, it's also relatively cheap to look after well. At the moment, our estimates are between £3 and £6 a month to look after one of these magnificent birds. So it's relatively cost effective. So we've got a lot that we've been learning, but we need your help. Our plan is to get together a fund specifically for the European Eagle Owl project. Now, like I said earlier, and the importance of me saying earlier that each one of the projects that the PSF Foundation is doing has its own separate banking facility, its own separate bank account. And the reason I said that is because when we are talking about raising money for the European Eagle Owl project, you won't be putting it into the PSFF and it going into all of our projects. You have the ability to be able to directly or indirectly to the European Eagle Owl project fund, if that makes sense. Now, obviously, the PSFF down the line, the PSFF Foundation will be doing fundraising for itself to bring on the sport and develop the sport and get it growing and thriving. But what I'm saying is you've got a direct ability to fund the European Eagle Owl project, as you will have for other projects as well. So we need your help. We are doing a fundraising auction. We want as many top quality, good birds from you pigeon guys. We want pigeon flyers, breeders, studs, anybody. So we are looking to do a charity auction. We haven't set the date yet, but realistically, we are realistically looking around mid-October to do this. All right. We are going to be doing an online auction. The online auction will be done on my new platform, RPI Auctions. Commissions or any costs will be taken out to do it. As I've said previously, all charity auctions, any charity fundraising will be, anybody that's got any charity can do any auction they want as long as it's a legitimate charity on RPI Auctions. The auction will be an online auction using rpiauctions.com. We are looking to do it around mid-October, and we are looking for as many good quality birds as possible from top people. So if yourself have really good birds, if you know someone that has really good birds, you're friends with people that have really good birds, we want your birds. We are looking to get as many top quality birds into this auction as possible to raise as much money as possible. Now, I'm a goals guy. This is not Johnny McWhirter's goal. My personal goal with this is that I want to see this fundraising auction generate £10,000. And we don't need that many good quality birds to do that. Now, what would £10,000 get us? We are estimating that based on what we know at the moment, this is subject to change, but based on what we know at the moment, that will get us around a dozen of these birds out into people's hands. So the European Eagle Owl project with the PSF Foundation is not looking to be paying monthly for people to look after these birds, right? You've got to be able to feed and look after the bird to a high level yourself if you get one of these birds. But like I said, the costs, you can call it around a tenner. Let's say a tenner a month. It's going to be looking to cover. And again, we've got experts that we will have in our PSF Foundation that can help you. So we're not looking to fund on a monthly basis people keeping these birds. But what we are looking to do is we are looking for people we were looking to fund people to be able to start buying some of these birds in, paying for some of the initial setup, and getting as many people keeping these birds as possible. We're looking to do this for people to be able to keep breeding pairs and single birds that are suitable. So we're looking to get about 12 people going with this initial fundraising, because then it will go viral. People will know what's going on. And we may be able to get it down more. The actual costs of setting up the accommodation for one of these birds doesn't have to be that expensive. It can be obviously well made. It's got to be secure. It's got to be suitable completely for the bird to be very happy. But we're looking to raise as much money to get this going as a project. And there's already people that have offered to keep breeding pairs and develop the breeding pairs. And that's how it's going to start. I personally and the people that are keeping individual birds to get the thing going, we won't be taking any costs for our setup. We will fund that setup ourselves. We're looking for people that are watching this to be funded to be able to help get this going and keep breeding pairs. So that's what we need. I want to see this to start off raise £10,000. And like I've said before, and I'll say again, that £10,000 will go directly into the European Eagle Owl project. So if you donate money, you donate birds, and you do anything else for fundraising, you can directly say, I want that money or the proceeds of the birds that I've donated going into the European Eagle Owl project funds. And it will be used every single penny for that. And like I said earlier, but to reiterate, the bank accounts, we will be getting an accountant on. All of the money coming in will be disclosed on a quarterly basis. It will probably be. And people will be able to see exactly where the money's gone, who it's gone to, and what it's for. Okay. So that's what we are looking to do. So I want you to get involved. How can you get involved? You can donate as birds. You can tell friends who have got good birds to donate birds. You can go and like the Facebook page for the European Eagle Owl project. It's been scrolling on the screen all night long. You can go to facebook.com/EEO project and you can like our page. We already have over 500 people that have liked it. That EEO project on Facebook is the way of keeping involved and up to date of everything that's going on. We do also have a PSF Foundation group, but I want everybody to go to the European Eagle Owl project for this specific thing because we're putting news out there about everything there. So how you can get involved, go and like the EEO project Facebook page. If you haven't got any birds to donate and you just want to donate some money, you can donate directly to the EEO project. If you have birds, good quality birds that will raise good money at auction, we want one or two of those birds off you. And tell your friends about it and share what we're doing. That's how you can get involved. If you are in the aviary or shed business or the timber business, and you can help support us with materials, we need this. We've already got supplies of the birds. The birds to be supplied, we've already got that figured out. The actual bird cost between about £150 and £180 per bird. They're actually the cheap part. I'll be talking to food companies to the food for these birds and see if we can get a EEO project bulk discount. But the cost of getting this going from an individual point of view are the aviaries and the enclosures needed. So if you know somebody in the wood game, if you can help us in any way like that, that's what we need help for. Now let's catch up on all of the comments. I know there's lots been coming in. I hope that has told you and given you the overview of everything that's going on and what we're looking to do. Now, let's catch up and say hello, see who's talking, see who's in. And again, please share this. We've got about 50 people watching. Thank you very much to everybody that has shared it. Johnny's in the house. Thank you very much, Johnny, for watching. Johnny, this is Johnny's brainchild, right? I cannot take the credit for this. The only credit I can take is for saying, right, let's make it a bigger thing and put it under the umbrella of the PSF Foundation. And that also, I like the idea. I've been looking for a way to try and help with the bird of prey issue. And this rang out to me as the thing to do. Bringing it into the PSF Foundation made sense to me. But Johnny is the brainchild of this project, and he needs the praise for that. Stephen O'Brien's in. Evening, Johnny. He says, Martin Dawson, Alan Curry's watching. David Penrose say, well done, Johnny. Rhino Ricketts, do you think it would be better to challenge the artificial nest lodgers for peregrines? Yes, absolutely. It'd be part of the plan, though, Rhino, like I explained earlier. No, Johnny's not coming on live today. This is just kind of like a presentation of what it's all about, Stephen. But trust me, Johnny will be on doing lives about this as we get this progressing. Johnny will be a massive part of this. But this was just an overview to say, this is what we're doing. We want your birds. We want you to help us out. Need lots of those eagles. Long term, Joe, we do. They are lovely birds. John O'Brien, too many breeding sites, isn't it? No more artificial breeding needs to do is what to stop. I agree, like we said. David Penrose, please share. Please share, mate. Yeah, there'll be lots of views after. It's a Wednesday night. It's not a night I normally go live, so I'm happy. We've got nearly 60 people watching. That's great. We do need as many people to push this project as possible. Jason Bateman's here. Just so you know, it's a point that's just come up by Stephen, which I'm not going to highlight. Nothing against you, Stephen, but I don't want to highlight what you've said specifically, but I'll put it in my own words. Every single video I do now, every single video, not only will be on Facebook for as long as they last on Facebook, every single video will be on YouTube within an hour of it being live. That YouTube link will be shared on Facebook. And in addition, I use a platform called Vimeo for all of my videos, for all my website videos and stuff. Every single video will be on there as well. So every single video I do, including this one and any others we do for this project, will be on 3 platforms. I hope that makes sense. Kieran's watching. Paul Machin's watching. Good luck. Thank you very much, mate. Whatever helps, it can be done correctly. I agree, John. It has to be done correctly. Completely agree. Excuse me a second, dry mouth. Has to be done correctly. People saying about breeding them, letting them go. 1, illegal. 2, not going to help the bigger picture. Has to be done correctly. And it will be done correctly. And that's why it's been done through a non-profit organization. There's just not some fly-by-night, let's go and release a load of birds. Not the way, not what we're about. David Penrose agrees. Mickey Hessian says, this is what we need for pigeon sport. Would love to help if you can. Thank you, Mickey. If you can help in any way, if you can donate birds, if you can donate a bit of money, some time, resources, like I said. Yeah, like Johnny said, get names in on private message to either Johnny or myself. If you want to start keeping them or breed them, messages. We've got a good group of people that want to start keeping these birds already. But message Johnny or I. Johnny is an admin on that page that you keep scrolling as well, so he gets all the messages into that page. Just if you can, I don't mind you messaging me personally on my Facebook account. But if you could message the European Eagle Owl Project page instead, that would just keep it a lot easier because Johnny and I can both see messages coming into the EEO Project page. Again, it doesn't matter in the bigger picture. We want to hear from you and get you involved. If you want to start keeping these or breeding them, message Johnny and I. But like I said, if you could message the EEO Project page, that would just make our lives a lot easier for admin so that we can keep on the same page. But again, if I've got no problem in messaging either of us, but if you could message the page, it would be great. So yeah, we don't want to be releasing them out. It would have a negative effect. John McFarlane, no, you couldn't be flying them out around while the pigeon fences have around the house. That is not something you want to be doing. There is an argument from the experts that a racing pigeon is actually too fast for one of these, right? There's an argument the European Eagle Owl will go and take birds from static places, nest boxes, and what have you. But I certainly will not be flying any birds out when one of these birds out. And I would definitely down the line work with other people to coordinate with that. David Penrose says, I had one for a couple of seasons. You won't see a hawk, plenty of gulls to start with, and they can be noisy when they see cats or strangers. I kept it well fed and noise down. My birds would walk around. The birds have no fear of them. easy to keep. David Penrose, I would like you to be involved with us, please, David. If you've been keeping these birds before, I would like you to help us and get involved. Yes, naturally, they are nocturnal birds. They are. Simon Lee Hall says, great idea. I used to train and fly European eagle owls. My mate still does, and no other raptors will come near them at all. Simon Lee Hall, we want you involved. If you've kept and trained these birds, please get in touch with Johnny and I. I know we've been speaking about your other horrible problem you had, but I think they were the same guy. Sorry, my brain's gone. Simon, we want you involved. Please message me or Johnny, or both of us. Stephen O'Brien, it's been announced that the breeding pairs of European eagle owls in wild up Scotland. What's happening now? Newspapers are printing deadly killers and will even attack pets such as small dogs, etc. Yeah, there's going to be negativity towards them, but trust me, we've got lawyers. We've got one specific lawyer that is pigeon related and is going to help us. And we also have many birds of prey experts to say all of this negative, fake, false news is exactly that. John Brown, I feed a load of seagulls beside my house, so do the neighbours scraps and gone off food. I rarely see the raptors because of them. The sea eagle is more of a threat than the RSPB are introducing them. Exactly, Johnny, you're very right. And the peregrine falcon is not native to this country. The funding is coming from, John, I know you would have said that prior, the funding is coming from to start getting this auction going. Yeah, we're doing the auction, like I said. Tom Swift said, Dragonfly Lofts will donate something special, no worries. Thank you very much, Tom. You're a diamond. John Angwin says, Mark, count me in. I will donate out of our Son of Kittle. John, thank you very much, mate. That's a big money bird. Much appreciated. And I know you've also asked about the Music is Life mental health auction that I was talking about many months ago. The harsh reality is the European Eagle Owl project is more important to get up and running quicker right now. And as I said to you, John, privately, that auction will be towards the end of November for the Music is Life mental health auction. But John, you are an absolute star for donating a grandchild of Kittle because that's 2 birds you've now donated or offered to charitable causes, and that bird there will generate very good money for the European Eagle Owl project. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Yeah, Rhino Ricketts, that price is based on feed of day-old chicks. That's about 6 a day, these birds eat. There are, and we're going to collate them together, but there is categoric evidence that they are breeding in the Cumbria area. As Johnny said, if every pigeon member gave £5 plus a top pigeon people donated for auction, it would be very easy to achieve. Now, one of the things we're going to be doing via the PSF, which I haven't yet set up, but is going to happen as soon as the website is up and running, we are going to be offering the ability for people to just donate £5 or £10 as a one-off or as a monthly payment. And as part of that funding, like I said earlier, people can just donate it to the PSF if they want to donate to the whole thing for the money to be spread around. People can donate directly to the European Eagle Owl project. On the website, once it's set up, you'll be able to say, I want to donate a £5 or a £10, 25 quid, 50 quid, or another amount directly to this particular project. And you'll be able to donate money directly to the European Eagle Owl project online without having to do anything else. And you will also have an option of being able to donate an amount per month as well. So that's going to be happening. Tom Swift said, I'm sure we can find space for one here, Mark. Yeah, great. Excellent, mate. Jamie Langrish says the same. Yeah. David Penrose says 6 before shed is a moss for breeding with aviary. Yeah, the aviaries I'm looking at the aviaries are going to be about 9 foot from what I've been told in length with birds of prey perches. Thank you for sharing that link, Tom. That is it. Facebook.com/EEO project. That is the link to go and like the page. Please go and like the page. 1, to show your support. 2, to keep up to date with all of the updates. Anthony says, do a couple of raffles on our PI to generate a few quid. Maybe do one Friday, 5 or a number with 50 numbers. Yeah, we'll be doing that, mate. The PSFF, we will be doing a raffle specifically for the European Eagle Owl project. We'll be doing raffles as well for the PSFF Foundation. David, I need to speak to you more, mate. Rhino Ricketts, I need to speak to you as well, mate, please. John Dooley says, Johnny McWhirter is a legend. Stephen O'Brien says, good stuff, Mark. Thank you very much. They will, well, if we can get this set up and running in time, we are looking to start breeding next spring. That's what we're looking to do. Let's see what else comments we've got. Mickey Hessian says, good luck, pal. Trying to help this pigeon sport. I'm 25 and will help. Mate, get involved. Message me. Let's see how you can get involved. Johnny McWhirter says, PM me. David Penrose, great. Stephen O'Brien, great. So, guys, that's it. Thank you for all of the comments. Much appreciated. Really appreciate it. Right? Thank you for that. Like I said, it's time to get involved. We've had some people pledging birds already, which is much appreciated. We are aiming, I am aiming to get 40 birds in the auction. That's my goal. Because I figure 40 birds, we've got a good chance, especially when you've got grandchildren and Kittle and some of the birds that we're talking about. Thank you for everybody that's pledged to offer birds at the moment. Much appreciated. So please share, please PM me, please message. Let's do this. I want to get the auction rolling for mid-October realistically. That then will give us some time to get everything up and running, and we can start this hitting spring breeding, and people can start keeping birds as soon as possible, single birds as well. So thank you for that. As I said, it's time to get involved. You can contact us at the European Eagle Owl Project, which is going down here. That is the best one to do it. All right. If that's the best way of contacting us, facebook.com/EEO project. Alternatively, you can contact me at mark@psffoundation.org or my facebook.com/Mark Lyford Pigeons. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Much appreciated to all of the people watching. We've still got 50 people watching now as we speak. Please share it. Like I said, let's get this word out there. Let's get this project going. Let's take back control. Let's do it properly. Let's do it legally. And let's actually start cutting through all the red tape and doing this ourselves and get going. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good rest of your evening. Be lucky and keep flying.